This one's crazy one. Family wants answers after Valley woman shot and killed by FBI task force. Yeah, insane.
A mother and FBI witness shot and killed by a violent crimes task force. It happened 5 years ago in El Mirage. The ABC 15 investigators now learning more about what happened and, more importantly, what went wrong. Her family speaking exclusively to our team.
Her car was shot at, glass was everywhere.
This FBI operation was never about Melanie Duvall.
Everything was ripped out of her truck. There was caution tape.
But what happened on June 19th, 2019 cost Melanie her life.
It's insane, how they can shoot at somebody 22 times and call that reasonable.
Her red pickup truck riddled with bullets at US 60 in Thompson Ranch Road during an FBI undercover investigation in El Mirage. What would you want to say to the FBI and the officers who shot your mom?
Stop abusing your power.
What Melanie's daughter didn't know at the time was her mother was an FBI witness, helping law enforcement capture a wanted suspect they say she was in a short-term relationship with.
I know they know what they've done wrong.
5 years later, Adriana Navarrete is still fighting for accountability and has filed this federal lawsuit. How would you describe this case?
It's one of the most horrifying, most tragic cases I've seen in my 48 years of practicing law.
Adriana's attorney, Michael Berg, says the FBI task force should have called off its operation.
This was a plan that had gone awry. They knew that there was a problem. They decided to go in and, in my opinion, just cowboy it.
Berg says Melanie was helping the FBI capture this guy, Ernesto Izaguirre, wanted on multiple felony warrants, including aggravated assault, drugs, and stealing cars.
She was cooperating and talking to the FBI throughout this entire situation.
And for the first time, court records detail what her family says went wrong.
It was absolutely outrageous.
According to the lawsuit, the original plan was for Melanie to drive the wanted suspect to this Walmart. An FBI task force was going to arrest him in the parking lot.
We showed up at Walmart, and that's when everything started getting really weird, and, Ernesto started acting really fidgety. I knew something was wrong.
Adriana got out of the truck minutes before. Also in the car, a 16-year-old girl who survived. When the original plan failed, officers tried a traffic stop nearby, surrounding Melanie's truck on all four sides. And court documents say conducted a boxing in and ramming tactic, which is known to be dangerous.
We believe that he then, while she was in the driver's seat, hit the accelerator and pushed the car in front a very tiny distance. And at that point, they opened up fire.
They were excessive about what they've done. 22 times she was shot at.
That number of gunshots, also mentioned in court records. And here's a critical piece of information. Court documents say the FBI task force knew the wanted suspect was going to turn violent and had a prior history of ramming through a roadblock.
They knew. She had been telling the FBI.
Berg points to this text message as proof. It's between the FBI task force and Melanie in the hours before the shooting. She voiced concerns about going forward with the operation. Melanie wrote, "He will take my truck and run if we're in it. I can promise that." An officer responded, "You have to drive." Melanie wrote back, "I will. He will take my truck this time. He told me if we ever get pulled over again." And what did the FBI do?
They ignored it.
The lawsuit claims the shooting was both unlawful and unjustified. It also claims no weapons were ever found in Melanie's truck. And it says Melanie Duvall was never a suspect of any crime, yet her driver's window was riddled with bullets.
I have to tell my children that they'll never have a grandma.
An innocent person who's not only not a bystander, but someone who's cooperating. This should never, ever happen again.
I'll never stop fighting for my mom. I just miss her a lot. I love her so much.
We asked the FBI for comment and for more specifics on Melanie's role in their undercover operation, but the agency declined our request. As for the investigation, the wanted suspect was arrested that night and, according to DOC records, was released from prison last month. In court documents, the FBI has justified the shooting by saying other officers were in danger, but the family's attorney tells us there's no evidence that's the case and are prepared to take this to trial. I'm investigator Jennifer Kovaleski, ABC 15.